beautiful sunny day. I've got my Artex and a bunch of other brands actually, alcohol markers, acrylic markers, and I've got this really large Moleskine book that was a gift from my friend. And I have not wanted to paint in this or draw in it because it's so beautiful that I didn't even want to draw on the paper. That's so silly. So today we are going to just draw, and I think the goal will be some figures, and I hope you join me. One of the most challenging things about recording is finding a good spot with good lighting, but I like painting and drawing in my kitchen. I haven't done it for a really long time because it's just easier and more quiet in my little art studio, which is just like a little tiny bedroom in my house. But the kitchen is my preferred spot because the sunlight is just, it's so enjoyable to be in my kitchen. I'm so lucky. But today I want to just draw some loose sketches, and I think my the inspiration is just going to be like vintage fashion illustration. And vintage fashion illustration that I like best is stuff that was done in the past. So like in the 50s, 60s, anything before like the 90s is my preference. But I think what I do want to do is maybe sketch out some figures. And I kind of wonder, maybe I'll just do it with the acrylic markers and see what I can come up with. And you know I like to do my ovals. So this lady, her face is probably a little more pink than I wanted, but I'm drawing very loosely so that I can make adjustments after. Probably, you know, another art supply that I really like is the Gouache. I love gouache. I think I like gouache because it's a really nice matte finish. And I will say that these acrylic markers are a nice matte finish as well. Let's see. What I like to do is go to, Pinterest and look up vintage drawings, vintage fashion illustration, so I can get some ideas. And so my Pinterest is Krista Irene Art. And you can find me on there. I'll leave the link in the description of this video. And the reason I don't show reference photos in my drawing is because they could be copyrighted, and I'm not going to include reference photos that I'm not allowed to share. But you can find this. I'll pin this. Oh, my black marker's not working. That's fine. And this is just my own sketchbook. Okay, I'm using an alcohol marker now. I didn't even know. I'm using my own sketchbook just for the fun of it to play around. Oh, and this is a vintage illustrator. I want to remember what his name is that I'm inspired by. His illustrations are incredible. And I'm absolutely inspired by this person's illustrations. I'm just going to use the marker here. It's like her arm came down and it comes down here like this. I just want the painterly effect of the gouache on her sleeves. I don't know, I just like it. And so she has these sort of puffy sleeves on. And I'm just using gouache. I've got this a few Christmases ago. Actually, I got it when I started my YouTube channel. So that's how old this gouache is, but I don't use it very often, too much now. And but you add a little water, and reactivates. I like that this particular artist did not pay a whole lot of attention as well to the features of the face. He was really focused more on the gestures and the lines of the lady. Like, he didn't even draw her eyes, which I am going to draw. I just feel like her hips aren't big enough. There. Maybe I'll add like I don't know. I think she looks okay. We'll add a little shading to her in a bit. I want to let her dry. I hope it doesn't seep. Let's see. This is the Moleskine large book that okay, that's excellent. That my friend got me because you can't find it here. Also, for me personally, I never treat myself to something like this kind of book. Oh, I think that looks really good. Okay, so let's do another one. I'd love to use, okay, I'm going to use a marker, my Artex marker, and see if I can sort of, I'm going right in the center of this page. I don't care. I'm trying to draw her over. Oh, this is hard. Okay. Why did I say I would do it in the center? I do not know. I'm trying to get her overall. We'll have her walking behind this lady. Okay. Probably did her head. The thing about using this paper too is like you're committed. Once you put that ink down, you're committed to your, like, whatever this mess is that you've made, you're committed. Oh, I feel like. And one of the things I want to work on this year too is hands and feet. I want to work on hands and feet. This lady has her leg coming out, like she's walking. Oh, and her little foot's back here. This Hemi gouache, it dried up a bit. I reactivated it, but then I stopped using it for a while. But okay, we're gonna, but look, oh, it's so pretty. Okay, well, whatever, I'm gonna do it anyway. We're gonna draw a circle for her face. And I'm just like, if I'm being loose and messy, I have to continue being loose and messy with the whole thing. Okay, we're gonna go in here and I'm just gonna go over it. Okay, and I wanna, her neck comes out and her shoulder, uh-oh. Okay, I'm gonna go bigger because her arm comes down. I think her top needs to come up a bit more to go with her head. And then her little foot. She's walking. I like her, but her top is too low. I think because I put a line here, she's going to have like a bun in her hair. And maybe we'll... I actually feel like she looks pretty good. This is fun. I like standing here and painting. I like standing here and then I can back up and then look again and back up. This is really good. Okay. I think the reason I'm so hesitant with this book too is because I'm never throwing this book out. If you watch my videos, a lot of times I don't save my art. Sometimes I just feel like I want to start again. And so I don't save it. And this I have to save because it's so, the book itself, even nothing in it, is so beautiful. Okay, now we're going to do another lady. And I really like this artist. I don't know, Joel or Joe. I don't know. We'll figure out what his name is after. I'll leave it in the description. But his art is so almost abstracted and imperfect and beautiful. And it just goes to show, even back in the day, like, it was those gorgeous loose lines that I feel like made a lot of this beautiful. Although I will say, like, the way that he did the body too, like, those arms are hard to do. Arms are just a challenge. His line work is stunning. Okay, so he had like, I'm just making adjustments, and I'll probably go over this again, but I do want to map in their faces because this is a big sketchbook, so I kind of want their faces. So I'm just kind of playing around about where their faces is. I feel like this lady, I have her proportions off in that at one point her head was too big and now I feel like her head's too small, but I'm going to work with that. And the lips. Like, I'm just keeping it simple, but I kind of want to give these ladies a little personality. I'm happy with her arms because the lady to the right, her arms are too, both ladies. Like, so you just have to figure this out, practicing and practicing. And I look at different illustrators and I could see that her arms are nice and long. I'm just putting my stuff out there. I don't care if it's perfect or not. I wasn't a fan of her little hairdo, but again, with the acrylic markers, I could just play around with this and make it my own. I do love the pop of red. I want to add some details. Let's see what I can do. This is the final drawing. Sometimes you have to get in the zone. You got to turn the camera off. And so I like to get right in and try to get their faces in. I really tried to work on this lady's face and make it the right size for her body. Although her proportions are off, I think she's my favorite one with all her sparkles. And this lady's purse, I added all this glitter to it, and I'm so in love with the end result with this glitter and this book. Wow, it really handled everything I put on it, which was basically the acrylic markers and the gouache. And this is the giant Moleskine book that the very first drawing that I did. She even has gold shoes. I know their feet aren't correct, But again, like if you're just drawing and creating for yourself and practicing your sketching, you know, one thing at a time. I feel like her arms look good. I figured out this lady's top half, the bottom half maybe a little too right, the legs are a little off. And I figured out her sleeves and a sparkly purse. And let's see, this is the Moleskine book, what the other side looks like. I have to let this dry so the pages don't stick together. Oh, hold on. There we go. Not bad. So the ink will kind of go through, but if you draw with the acrylic marker, it doesn't seem to go through. And the gouache, there was a little water on the gouache, not too much, but I think it handled the gouache really well. Sorry, I'm not the best with the recording. Okay, it's a little bit of puckering from where I added, this lady had a lot of gouache on her. So the middle lady was, I guess, the right amount of gouache because it was more like a dry paintbrush. If you have questions about the art supplies I use, let me know. I'm also posting this on my Facebook page, which is Krista Irene Art. And if you want to leave a comment below on my Facebook page with your art that you drew along with me, feel free to do that. I hope you all have a wonderful day and happy sketching.